Monday, December 21st. This week, just below my balcony, SkyTrack has stayed very busy delivering loads of wood to keep the framers supplied. First piece of the red steel stairwell that comes out of the maintenance level has arrived. They are so gangly to maneuver, and they have long steel bars out both ends. I don't envy SkyTrack. Finally, the third section of the stairwell arrives. It is even more gangly than the others. Reminds me of Don Quixote. This is what the end of the assisted living Mikasa building looks like to Wilbur. The 3 pieces of the stairwell are in place, but there is still a lot of framing and windows that need to be installed on this end. When I look out my balcony, I see them separating the trusses and nailing them into place. When Wilbur flies over, it looks like a lot of pinstripes. The dark patch is the floor of the next level. I watch them work on the bump out that will be the Mikasa dining area. Wilbur can see the whole west side of the Mikasa assisted living building, and it makes more sense from his viewpoint. There'll be a lot of windows on the dining room. Welder has been very busy making sure all of the red steel is attached at every point that it needs to be. Near the transformer, I see David, James, and Robert are back. They are feeding heavy electrical cables from rolls on the back of a pickup into the ground over to the maintenance level. Walking up the street later, all I find are the empty spools from their morning efforts. Farther up the street, I can see that the welder is still working to secure all parts of the stairwell. Down below, the maintenance level has heavy metal doors that can be locked. After plywood, assisted living and Mikasa apartments look more defined. Worker is prepping the window openings to be ready for metal and glass to be installed. Walking into Alta Vista, I felt like I was being watched, and looking up, I realized I was. On the 6000 wing, SkyTrack shows up with waterproof wallboard. Worker has to call for reinforcements because the pieces are really long and really heavy. Next, SkyTrack tackles the long bundle of trusses. Oh, there's another SkyTrack behind you. Look out. I do not know how they maneuver in these tight spaces. Work on the east side has finally begun between the two casitas that will accommodate the fire engine turnaround. My birthday baby Whit is doing very well. My sister Carrie, his new grandmother, has to work really hard not to laugh at his wrinkly old man brow. Seriously, Whit, we're going to have to give you some wrinkle cream. Santa's sign says, "We'll work for cookies." Nancy Madigan shared some photos of her collection of nativities. This one is a surprise. The entire nativity is made from different types of fabric.
Hi there. Rapid progress, as you can see, on independent living. The tower is the same. Framing, trusses, and flooring is all done around the tower. And they're starting framing on the next floor. We saw all of this process before on the lower floor. It's amazing how quickly the process is going now. Look, there's Skyjack bringing more framing. And notice also they've already put up the particle board on the north wall. That's where the wind's coming from. Look at the dust blowing there. Hi, this is Jack Breyer. It's Wednesday, December 23rd, 2020. It's 30 degrees outside, sunny, and quite windy. Wilbur has a tough time keeping steady in this kind of wind. See if you can detect his drunken movements in reaction to the gusts, which are up to 40 miles per hour. Again, they've got materials stacked up next to the building ready for use. Do you see that pause in the flight? That's Wilbur trying to get a grip in the wind and still keep the recording smooth as possible. And finally, the tower still stands tall and empty, looking over the project from the west. And now we go over to assisted living. Here at assisted living, we can see that the west end flooring has been completed. There's not much activity going on right now. The east end looks mostly the same except walls and frames on the ground floor. And of course on top there's framing stacked up for the next level. And coming around to the lobby, we get a look at it and see that it's still mostly the same. Also, not much activity here. We now jump past the boring backside and we continue along the north wall toward the west end. We can see that there's really not a whole lot happening along here. But as we round the west end, we see that the skinny little pillars have been filled out with bracing steel and the stairway has been installed. That last step on the stairway looks dangerous. See you next week.